Hi guys! So today I wanted to talk about the very, very popular topic of love because I am in a very stable, very happy relationship at the moment that I am incredibly happy in, and I feel in that kind of emotional state where I'm good to talk about it without ranting about it. So I want to talk about the social norms and the reasons like certain things are considered acceptable and certain things aren't in different cultures, different places, all that kind of crap. So this might be a very long video, so you can stay for however long you want, but if you leave early, I won't be bothered. But if you can, try and stick it out to the end, because I might say something interesting between when you quit and when the end is. Maybe. I know my videos get really long sometimes, I just talk. Some people seem to enjoy that though, so it's all good. Basically, the relationship I am in at the moment has progressed quite quickly, and I'm really, really happy. Like, really happy. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that don't think mine and his relationship was well thought out, well planned. Like, they think it escalated too fast. It was a surprise for everyone, which is kind of not their business. Like, if it's a surprise for you, that's kind of a good thing, because it's like, oh, that's a nice surprise, but apparently it wasn't. Getting the Pepsi out ready. Yeah, and that was a really big deal, apparently, that that they didn't think we were compatible. And being fucking honest, right? If we weren't compatible, then why would we be together? We'd been talking for a couple of weeks, on and off, like just chatting as friends, because I knew him through college and he seemed like a really nice guy, but completely out of my fucking league. Like, oh my god, so far out of my fucking league, I can't even. Like, he was out of the ball court. Just, nope, that's never gonna happen. So don't try. Okay. So I didn't. I just stayed friends with him for a really long time throughout one of my shortest relationships I've ever had. Which I'm quite proud of the short relationship because he was a little bit of an asshole. But let's not go there. Right. Social conventions of love. Our relationship did escalate quite fast, and I was completely fine with that. But some people at college made it their place to say things that weren't in their right to say. To say horrible things about me and him and our relationship and how we were together. And they made it almost their place to say things where their happiness wasn't concerned. And that really upset me, I think, because they could quite easily tell I was happy, but they didn't like him, so therefore I must not like him too, because that's how it works, right? And I'm not going to go into a rant about it, just drop it. So the social conventions of love are, for modern times, let's go with the no sex before marriage thing, because come on. Really? Because it's kind of it's a big deal for quite a few people. Like, no sex before marriage to me seems like a stupid idea, but opinion is opinion. So if you have that opinion, you think that is how things should be, carry on having your opinion. I'm not going to fight you on that one. That there is an age that's considered okay to get engaged, married, and I don't like that either, because I understand the whole divorce is stupid thing, and divorce should be illegal, in my opinion. If you get married to someone, you should want to be with them, and if you get married to them and you figure out later on that they're the wrong person for you, it should be illegal to get divorced, or it should cost a shit ton more than it does, because there are so many failed marriages. I've seen so many failed marriages, it's unbelievable. Now I come from a family where there are no steps, literally no steps in my family, at all. Everyone has married and stayed married, had children. That's it. Which is a very, very strange thing to have, apparently. Because it's kind of weird, but yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of the image I've been brought up with, so for me, divorce has never been an option. If I want to be with someone, I will be with that person, and I will stick with that person. So marriage is a very big deal to me. I want to talk about promise rings as well, because I feel that they're a nice step in a relationship towards that kind of escalation, rather than it just being like, oh, we're just boyfriend and girlfriend, ha ha ha, getting married. Like, sudden, it's a nice little step. Promise rings. Lots of people don't know what they are. I have one. Some people might have seen on my Twitter last night, I posted a selfie, and yeah. It looks like an engagement ring. It's a promise ring. Well, that's what I like to view it as, a promise ring. I was given this promise ring 2 days ago. The promise to be with me forever, to never abandon me, for us to both look after each other, and stuff like that. It's a big promise. They're like wedding vows, but in a very less formal context, without the white wedding and all that shit. It's a promise without the legal binding, put it that way. And it's much nicer, because the amount of comments I've had about this ring, I know it's on my ring finger, that's because it's the only finger it fits on, okay? And I think that is the best place for it, because the ring finger is the ring finger, because it's the only finger that has a direct vein to your heart. Artery, vein, same thing. So I think that's a very applicable place for it to be. But apparently, no. Because everyone who's asked me whether I'm engaged to my boyfriend, I should mention his name, but being honest, I can't be asked. You probably know him anyway. Everyone fucking knows him. But yeah, everyone's like, oh, are you engaged to so-and-so? And it's like, it's a promise ring. And it's a promise. And then they go, what's a promise ring? It's a promise to be with him forever, to never abandon him, to always be there for him when he needs me, and always back him up, and always have each other's backs, and trust each other and love each other, and that kind of stuff. They're like wedding vows, exactly. Love each other in sickness, in health, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what promise rings are, and I am incredibly proud of mine, apart from the fact it has this huge fucking gem on it, right? So I turn it around when I'm in college, so it doesn't get in the way of everything, and still people have the nerve to ask. But yeah, it does bother me to a certain extent, because it's made out to be a bigger deal than it should be, because I can understand. We've been together 5 weeks, 5 weeks, 4 weeks. Don't know. No. 4 weeks, 4 weeks. 5 weeks is next Wednesday, I think. I don't know. I'm bad at counting. 30th of the 6th. This year, so 6th. 30th of the 6th, 30th and 9th. My brain's pretty frazzled from today. Anyway, yes. Promise ring. I don't understand why there is such a big deal around people's personal lives in college. I've had quite a few comments made about me and my sex life, my personal life, which I do not really like answering, because as much as I will answer questions if posed a yes or no question, I will answer them, but not happily. Put it that way, like, if someone asks me about my sex life, I'm not going to explain it to them in indescribable detail. Like, not comfortable with that. Like, I don't understand why it's such a big deal, and especially if you're going to make direct comments to my face. I've been called a college whore for going out with 2 people while being at college. Nice one right there. I've been called a cheater and a liar. There's already been 3 accusations of me cheating on new boyfriend, all of which are completely false. I'd like to point that out right now. I want to know who is spreading these rumours, because it's upsetting, it's stupid, and I really dislike it. 2 people who know said boyfriend and dislike said boyfriend. Have your fucking opinion. Keep your fucking opinion. I don't want to hear your opinion. You can say, I don't like said boyfriend, so I would rather not hang around with you when you are with said boyfriend. Logical. Understand it. Don't like him, don't like him. Everyone has their opinion. Fine. Be free. Go hang out with your other friends. But if you're going to shout obscenities in my face and tell me bullshit that's not true to try and get me to break up with him or try and prove a fucking point, that's when shit gets annoying. Because some of the things that have been said to me about the person that I love more than anything in the world are insane. Like life-ruining comments that if taken to higher powers could get him kicked out of college, that could get him put on a sex offenders register, like things like that. And it's like, what are you doing with your life coming up with this bullshit, even if it's just escalating things that actually happened? So what? He cuddled a girl and accidentally touched her boob. That is not sexual assault. Have you ever been a victim of sexual assault? No, you fucking haven't. You have no idea what it's like. So I'd much prefer it if people kept their opinions like that to themselves, their comments, their bullshit. Point made. Letting it go. Thankfully, nothing's been said in about a week now, so that's been nice. To the people that did say it to me, I understand your concern for my well-being and how much you want to be my friend, but if it was such a big deal, you could have actually told me 2 weeks earlier before you started blanking me. Just gonna let that point lie a second. Yeah. So, love, marriage, happiness, equality, all that stuff. If you love someone truly and honestly and they are a good person, be with them, no matter what anyone says, because if you know them properly and you understand them and you are fully and truly in love with them, then nothing should stop you. No one's opinions should stop you. There is a famous quote that I'm trying to think of right now and I can't think of it. If your affection is based on opportunity, then it is not affection, it is using someone. If the opportunity arises for you to leave someone because they're done, they've outworn their novelty, their use, whatever you were doing, if you leave them because the opportunity arises, then you obviously didn't love them to start with. If you fall for a second person while you're with someone, break up with the first, because you wouldn't have fallen for the second if you were truly in love with the first. Stuff's always kind of that way. And last but not least, actually no, not last, if you think someone's out of your league and you don't want to even try because you think you'll get turned down or rejected, you will never know until you try. Or until you ask how they feel about you, because I had no fucking clue how loved up this guy was with me, and I had no idea. I'm really fucking stupid in that way. I don't see all the pointers, all the fucking hints. Nope, nothing. But I love him with all my heart. I have nothing else to say apart from, if you're in love with someone and everyone's telling you that you're wrong, first look at the facts and then look inside your heart. What does your heart tell you? And if your heart's got fucking nothing, then go to your gut instinct. Your gut instinct is what tells you exactly what's right and what's wrong. My gut instinct has saved my skin so many times, but it's also made me make some pretty bad mistakes. But without those mistakes, I wouldn't be here right now. So, always go with your gut feeling. And unless it's really good, really trustworthy advice, do not listen to what anyone else has to say about your relationship. It's your relationship. Don't compare it to anyone else's. If things go how you don't want them to, then it's not good for you. But if things are going perfectly how you want them to, then it's your relationship. No one should tell you what's wrong and what's right. Bye guys, and I'll see you next week. If you want to leave a comment of something for me to talk about in the comments below, I would be much happily obliged to help you out with that. And yeah, any updates on any old videos would also be pretty cool. Any other video ideas at all, cool. And tell me if you're enjoying these rants or not. If you've stayed till 50 minutes at the end, type turtles in the comments, because I love you guys and I want to know who can actually listen to me ramble for 15 minutes fucking straight. See you guys.